Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19.
All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the New Orleans Saints and the New York Giants. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. Fielded about a yard deep. And down he goes just shy of the 25. Now, penalty marker is down. Let's see what that's about.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
Yeah, this is going to put them back with a not great field position.
So they really got zero benefit at all, right? Sometimes you can absorb a penalty when you get a big return. Then the penalty brings it back, but you still have great field position. As you pointed out, not in this case.
This is Hunt. And he'll be taken down at the 18. On the stop there defensively, Tyler Davison.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Here's Hunt. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's third down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Mariota. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Dante Hightower in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long.
That's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led onto the field by their 6'6" quarterback, the former Arizona Wildcat, Nick Foles.
And each time I sit down to evaluate Nick Foles, I end up tipping my cap to him, because this guy has experienced some highs in the NFL, gone to the Pro Bowl as a starting quarterback, had a year where he had 27 touchdown passing with 2 interceptions, led a team to the playoffs. But he had some lows as well. He's been benched, been a backup along the way. But at the end of it all, Super Bowl 52 MVP will always be etched next to his name.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, first down.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
Foles. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here's Foles. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. A look at the numbers for Thomas from a week ago. 3 catches, 77 yards.
And most teams mark down big plays as ones that gain 10 yards or more. He certainly has big playability, and we just saw it on display.
Now Foles. Over the middle, it's Thomas. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And they'll go on the ground. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Try to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Barry Church. Thomas, the intended target.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Following the interception here, Mariota. Quick hitter here, it's complete. First play of the drive going for 14 and a first down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Mariota on first down. Out left to Shaheen. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. 3rd and short yardage. Mariota. And he's going to dump this off to his running back, Hunt. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. So just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
A pair of first downs gives him a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Now a play fake here on first down. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A big play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Giants are going to take a first quarter lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it?
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
And Josh Hill has it. A good pickup there at 22.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to...
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Saints football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 10 more there and another first down.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. And this defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Now a handoff looking right. And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Over the middle, open is Thomas. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker. I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And the Giants ready to come out now. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away. We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Right back to him on first down. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
They'll roll him out right. And he's going to lose a yard or 2, taken down behind the line.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
On third down, Mariota. And incomplete here on third down.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative.
And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. Reggie Ragland in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
No run call here. They'll look to throw instead. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. We get a look at Sterling Shepard as he and the rest of the offense march out into place. Second quarter, a guy like him, no catches, so that's the surprising part. But they're winning, so maybe they've been able to do some other things effectively, I guess.
And they found other ways, haven't they? Because the receivers will tell you, offense needs to run through us. But they're managing to get it done in this ball game without having to actually do that. I wouldn't expect them to stay silent for the rest of the game.
Yeah, you got to think that his first catch is coming at some point.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On the run, this is Hunt. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when we clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle him. That's what you're looking for.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum Big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. A good return there, 17 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement. Down on the scoreboard, maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they? A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this 2nd week of the regular season. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. But now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one 28 yards on the ground.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that 1st down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. He'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. The Saints in the hurry up here, clock continuing to roll. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. And as a first-rounder, a lot of eyes on him, a lot of expectations.
And he has to play well in his rookie year. Those days of coddling guys and bringing them along slowly, those days are long gone. When you're drafted in the 1st round, they expect you to play right away. And the community's eyes and fan base, they'll be on you the entire way.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the 1st half. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again.
The running game's played a huge part in getting them down to this point on the field. I say stay with it. Keep pounding the football. Keep driving. Keep grinding.
Yeah, even down in the red zone, keep going for it.
No doubt about it. Dance with what brung you.
They come out here in the eye. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the 1st half of play. Back to throw. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Josh Hill, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Marty looking forward.
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Marcus Mariota getting ready to go again here on offense. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but bottom line, his team's losing. They got to fix something.
And it starts with him. He has to keep that little quarterback strut going right now to make sure his team sees him as confident. Continue to try and up his game, but just let him know, hey, if I hum around, if I'm the one calling signals and throwing the football, just follow me, we'll get there. Sometimes that will do more to elevate a team than anything else.
See if he has that confidence. They'll run it here with Hunt. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Well, that's the desired outcome coming out here in the second half, of being able to run the football and establish a little bit of pace and maybe even a bit of dominance at the line of scrimmage. They want that to continue. Way too early to think about this being ball control time. But the way they're running it, you got to think they may want to continue that and see if they can go ahead and grind their opponents into submission.
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Mario Edwards in there to get him for a loss of 5.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Looking to throw. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, a 22.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Foles now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. They'll drop to throw. Sheds off the tackle. Going right side here, and that's complete. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. to throw now on first down. And this is caught at the 8. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. First and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
He'll get it up the middle. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. Moving backwards on first down, never a good thing. What does that do for the mindset on second down?
Well, it changes your play call, definitely, because as a play call, you're advancing yourself thinking, okay, we're going to get a gain here. Now you've got to go back in reverse, come up with something to pick up not just the yardage lost, but gain a few extra.
That's caught. It's Thomas. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. A touchdown-saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and goal. He'll look to throw. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Josh Hill with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Saints add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the 3rd quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now it's a bootleg with Mariota. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. He got 29 yards that time. Now, he's got their only touchdown. This offense struggling. They target him again.
Everyone is looking for the hot hand, and sometimes you just don't have it. Maybe it's just lukewarm. But you go to that guy and try and turn it hot. Try and get things going. Find a way to get everything kick-started. As you noted, he has only touchdown, so he's had the most success in the game thus far.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd and inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker. Now Hunt, and he'll go down at the 28. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. Jeff Heath, the one to bring him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Looking left side, he's got it. Complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it in, throw it, go play action, and take your shot at the end zone.
And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. Now Mariota. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders.
Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's the Giants with possession of the football but needing points as we start quarter number 4. On 3rd down. That's Hunt. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this 3rd down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
And his kick is good. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. All right, so they needed 2 scores to get back in the game. The field goal there, maybe not exactly what they wanted, but the necessary first step.
There's still time remaining, and there's enough time to get it done. They've got to get at the least a 3-and-out here to get the ball back, preferably a takeaway.
The Saints coming out now to take the field. They've been rolling the last couple of drives, each inning in touchdowns. So this game is flipped. They were down. Now they're up with the football. We'll see how they handle it.
Can we get a spy on the headset now between the head coach and offensive coordinator? Because they've been in attack mode. Had to get back into the game. Now
a loose football. The ball comes out. And who's got it? The Giants.
I know when you're looking at the scoreboard clock, we're getting near the end of this game, but they were in what was really called 4-minute offense, and that's practice.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
A good starting spot for the Saints as they come up 1st and 10. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Foles. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Giants touchdown.
Did I just see what I thought I saw? Did I just see what I thought? That had to be. Come on, say it for me. Say it for me. Who picked off that pass?
The free safety.
Oh, you got to have those great skills back there. Eyes, anticipation, great hands. And, of course, how about the fluid moves afterwards to take it all the way to the house?
Sounds like you're watching your old game film up here in your head.
Yeah, that's the dream I had of being that player. I just never was.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. So some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. After the pick six, they go right back to the air. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. No gain there on the completion. 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Here's Foles. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because when they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by... Oh, no, he lost the football. But fortunately, the Saints were able to hold on to it, so they will indeed keep possession.
Well, so much for the 4-minute offense. They were trying to reduce the clock, get in position to win the game, and leave no time for them to come back and catch them. And guess what? They turned the ball over. Yeah, I mean, they had it all set up for themselves, and they let it get away.
And able to fight forward inside the 15 to the 13. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Saints take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash in for 6. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take
touchdown, Giants! A big play there with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Giants are an extra point away from tying up this football game.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that in.
Yeah, I just grab a nugget when I can.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is make sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now, it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Oh, it really has, especially as of late.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll be second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Foles. Finding room inside the 40. Wide open receiver complete.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face
Automatic
mask.
first down.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Dontari Poe in on the stop.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And they'll go on the ground. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This time it's 3rd and 3. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. And now the Giants, they get the officials' attention and take another timeout. As it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. A game-winning field goal would be a chip shot from here. Let's see how they play it on 1st and goal. They'll give it to him right up the gut. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead. So how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. 4th down now, and defensively, Charles, you know, they're just asking this crew for one more stop.
And you know that they're feeling the momentum right now, but they have to be very careful not to get over-exuberant, over-excited, and blow an assignment and give up the big 1st down.
So he's able to come through in a hostile environment, and you'd have to imagine that's the game winner.
Yeah, how about that? And the way that this game's gone, you think they really wanted to get to overtime and take their chances there? They wanted to get this thing done. When you're the visitor, you don't want to play into overtime. You want to knock it down, get it done, and go home.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for New Orleans, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll return home next week to take on the Carolina Panthers. Meanwhile, for the Giants, they'll drop to 0-2. And they will get a home date next week as they will take on the Dallas Cowboys. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.
You